We were promised smart technology, but somewhere along the way, the technology got smarter and the people got dumber. Give convenience has become the new god of modern life. We don't ask whether it makes us better, only whether it makes things easier. And at first, that sounds harmless. What's wrong with comfort? What's wrong with saving time? But slowly, quietly, and almost invisibly, something dangerous happened. As technology became smarter, people stopped needing to be. Why memorize a phone number when your contact list does it for you? Why learn spelling when autocorrect fixes everything? Why think when Google answers before you even finish typing the question? Piece by piece, competence was replaced with dependency, and we barely noticed it happening. Technology didn't take our intelligence away, it convinced us we don't need to use it. Think about the world before smart devices. You had to remember directions, phone numbers, birthdays, passwords, facts, and information. The human brain stayed active because it had to. The mind was a tool. Today, the mind is a middleman. We don't store knowledge anymore, we outsource it. The brain used to be our primary resource. Now it's just a backup drive we rarely bother to use. The frightening part, the brain is like a muscle. When you stop using it, it gets weaker. And modern life is designed to make sure we almost never use it. We used to do mental math. Now a 3-digit multiplication problem feels like torture. We used to read maps, plan routes, and navigate the real world. Now, if Google Maps stops working, most people have no idea where they are or how to get anywhere. We rely on apps for everything: waking up, scheduling, remembering, tracking, planning, even thinking. The machine is thinking so we don't have to. People call this progress. But is it really progress if the human mind is regressing? Convenience makes life easier, but it also makes people lazier. When everything is done for you, the desire to improve disappears. We don't learn skills anymore. We download them. We don't remember information. We search it again. We don't push our brains, we put them on standby mode. And when the mind is never challenged, it stops growing. The saddest part is that people don't even realize what they're losing. A generation ago, young people had hobbies, learned instruments, played outside, fixed things, built things, experimented, created. Today, if an app can't teach it or do it instantly, nobody wants to try. Real skill takes effort, and effort feels unnecessary when technology gives instant results. So we become spectators instead of participants, consumers instead of creators. We think we're evolving, but we're actually devolving. The more we automate, the more we disable ourselves. The more we depend on smart devices, the less capable the human mind becomes. It's not that technology is evil. Not at all. Technology is powerful, transformative, world-changing. The danger isn't the tool. It's the addiction to the tool. We don't use it anymore, it uses us. And one day, we may wake up and realize that the most advanced generation in history also became the most dependent, the most distracted, and the most mentally fragile. Our grandparents survived life without screens, without GPS, without AI, without digital shortcuts. Today, the average person panics when their battery hits 10%. That's how far we've fallen. Convenience has replaced competence, and the human mind is paying the price. Attention used to be normal. We could sit, focus, read, listen, think without feeling restless. But today, the modern mind is always hungry, never satisfied, constantly switching from one stimulation to another. Notifications, reels, messages, ads, alerts, trending topics. Everything is designed to grab your attention and pull you away from the present moment. And the worst part, it's working. People can't focus anymore. Not because they are lazy, not because they don't care, but because technology has trained the brain to crave constant stimulation. We used to enjoy slow things. A long conversation, a good book, a peaceful walk, silence. Now silence feels uncomfortable. Waiting feels unbearable. Even a 10-second loading screen can make someone angry. The mind has been rewired to expect speed, excitement, instant rewards. Dopamine has become the new master, and technology is the supplier. Every tap, every scroll, every notification is a dose. The brain gets used to it, and soon, real life feels boring. You see it everywhere. Someone opens a video, watches 5 seconds, scrolls, opens another, scrolls, opens another, scrolls again. Not because the videos are bad, because the brain can't stay in one place long enough to care. We've become addicted to speed, but that speed is destroying depth. People don't read full articles anymore. They skim, they skip. They want summaries, shortcuts, highlights. Nobody wants to think deeply, because deep thinking requires patience and effort. And patience is something the modern world has stolen from us. Ask a person today to focus on one task for 30 minutes without touching their phone. It feels like torture. Ask someone to read a page of a book without checking messages. It feels impossible. But it wasn't always like this. Technology didn't just shorten attention spans. It shattered them. And every time we scroll, switch tabs, jump from app to app, the brain learns that distraction is normal, that focus is unnecessary, that concentration is optional. Companies know this. They design apps to hook the mind, to keep you scrolling, clicking, watching, consuming. The competition is not for product quality, it's for your attention. Your attention is currency. So the world attacks it from every direction, every second, without pause. And somewhere in the middle of this digital storm, the human mind is drowning. The terrifying truth is that we are losing the ability to enjoy real life. Real life is slower. Real conversations don't move like TikTok clips. Real success takes years, not minutes. Real learning takes discipline, not swipes. But when the brain is conditioned to expect everything instantly, anything that takes time feels like suffering. That's why people quit faster, get frustrated easier, and lose motivation quickly. Not because they are weak, because their brains have been programmed to avoid effort. Schools are struggling, workplaces are struggling, relationships are struggling, all because the human mind can't stay present. Children can't sit still, adults can't stay focused. Families sit together, but stare at screens instead of each other. The world is louder, faster, brighter, more stimulating than ever, yet people feel emptier than ever. Technology gave us infinite entertainment, but it took away the ability to enjoy the simple things. It gave us access to endless information, but it destroyed the ability to concentrate long enough to learn anything deeply. We are overstimulated, overconnected, and overwhelmed. And the result is a society full of people who can't focus, can't think deeply, and can't slow down long enough to understand what's happening to them. Constant stimulation is killing attention, and attention is the foundation of intelligence. We live in a world where talking is optional and texting is easier, where a voice message feels too personal, and a face-to-face conversation feels too uncomfortable. Technology promised to connect us, but look around. People sit together and stare at screens. Families share a home but not conversations, and friendships are maintained through emojis instead of emotions. We call it communication, but it's only communication in the technical sense, not the human sense. Real communication uses eyes, tone, presence, honesty. Screens came in and replaced all of it with typing, forwarding, liking, reacting. Human interaction used to be raw, imperfect, messy, emotional. You saw expressions, heard voice changes, felt energy. Now everything is filtered, edited, and polished before it's sent. Technology turned communication into a performance. People don't speak to express, they speak to impress. And because of that, honesty is disappearing. It's easier to lie through a screen than face the truth in person. It's easier to block someone than resolve a conflict. It's easier to ghost than explain. Technology made relationships disposable. Even friendships are changing. Once, friendship meant time, effort, patience, memories. Now it means replying fast, liking posts, maintaining streaks. People think they're socially active because they have hundreds of contacts, yet they have nobody to call when life gets real. We replaced friends with followers and conversations with comments. And the result is a generation that feels connected but lives emotionally isolated. Loneliness is at its highest in history, and it's not because people are alone, it's because they don't know how to connect anymore. Everyone is reachable, yet nobody is close. We don't look into each other's faces. We look into screens. We don't ask how someone feels. We react to their stories. We don't share experiences. We post them. Everything is public, yet nothing is personal. Social skills are collapsing. Children grow up with iPads instead of playgrounds. Teenagers date through screens instead of real interaction. Adults escape into virtual worlds instead of facing real problems. When technology replaces socializing, people stop learning how to read emotions, how to handle conflict, how to build trust. They become socially inexperienced, smart online, awkward in real life. They can write long captions, but can't hold a conversation. They can comment confidently but panic when someone speaks to them face to face. And this emotional distance is affecting relationships, families, even self-worth. The more we live online, the more we compare ourselves. Perfect photos, perfect lives, perfect bodies, perfect relationships. It's all edited, filtered, curated, but people believe it's real. Instead of connecting with others, we compete with illusions. And when life doesn't look like social media, we assume something is wrong with us. Depression rises, anxiety rises, insecurity rises, all while the world claims to be more connected than ever. The truth is simple. Technology didn't destroy connection. It replaced it with cheap versions. Likes replaced love. Comments replaced conversations. Sharing replaced actually living. We forgot how to be human because machines became our communication partners. And slowly, the skills that made us social beings, listening, empathy, patience, vulnerability, began to fade away. Screens may connect devices, but they disconnect people. There was a time when curiosity was a natural instinct. When a question appeared, the mind started working. People thought, researched, asked, analyzed, argued, imagined, and learned. Today, curiosity ends in a search bar. The moment a question comes, we don't think, we type. And the second an answer appears, we move on. Without understanding, without remembering, without learning. Information used to require effort, and because of that effort, the mind grew stronger. Now information is instant, and because it's instant, the mind grows weaker. Artificial intelligence has become a digital brain people rely on. Need an essay, AI writes it. Need an idea, AI thinks it. Need a plan, AI creates it. The problem isn't the tool. The problem is the temptation to let the tool replace the human mind. When machines do the thinking, curiosity dies. When answers become instant, memory becomes unnecessary. When creativity can be generated, imagination becomes optional. Slowly, the mind shifts from creator to consumer. Students don't learn how to solve problems, they learn how to copy solutions. Workers don't sharpen skills, they ask AI to perform them. Art, writing, music, ideas, things that once came from human creativity, are now automated. We celebrate how easy everything is, but we ignore what we are losing in the process. Intelligence is not measured by access to information. It's measured by understanding, by thinking, by questioning, by applying. But in a world where AI can do everything, people are forgetting how. If you remove effort, you remove growth. If you remove struggle, you remove strength. And if you remove thinking, you remove intelligence. A calculator is powerful, but if you never learn math, the calculator owns you. AI is powerful, but if you never learn to think, the AI owns your mind. Technology should help us expand our abilities, but instead, it is replacing them. Tools were created to assist humans, yet now humans are becoming assistants to tools. The danger is subtle. When people stop thinking for themselves, they stop forming their own opinions. They accept whatever appears first, whatever is easiest, whatever the algorithm feeds them. They don't question, they don't analyze, they don't verify. And a society that stops thinking becomes a society that is easy to control. Intelligence is not only about facts, it's about independence of thought. But if machines think for us, independence disappears. Creativity is suffering too. Art used to be the expression of the human soul, imagination, pain, experience, emotion. Now you can type a sentence and get a painting. You can click a button and generate music. No journey, no struggle, no story. When everything becomes easy, everything becomes meaningless. People enjoy the result, but lose the ability to create it themselves. Some say AI will replace jobs, but an even bigger threat is that AI will replace the mind. People won't just lose careers, they'll lose curiosity, effort, discipline, problem solving, originality. The core of what makes a human intelligent is slowly being outsourced. And the worst part is, nobody notices. Because comfort feels good, speed feels good, automation feels magical. But every time we allow a machine to think for us, the brain becomes a little less active, a little less sharp, a little more dependent. Technology is not the enemy. The enemy is overdependence. Fear is not that AI will become smarter than humans. The real fear is that humans will stop trying to be smart at all. We thought technology would make us superhuman. Instead, it's turning us into spectators of our own lives. We scroll, we consume, we react, but we don't think, we don't focus, we don't connect, and we don't challenge ourselves anymore. The world keeps getting smarter, and we keep getting weaker. Maybe the real danger isn't that machines will replace us. The real danger is that we are slowly replacing ourselves with a version that feels comfortable, entertained, and connected, yet empty, distracted, and dependent. The future doesn't belong to the smartest technology. It belongs to the smartest mind. And that mind will be the one that chooses to think again.